And wait, because next season is 5 substitutions. And you will be how genius I am. You will see. Don't worry.
Pep, congratulations. Off you go and enjoy it. Thank you so much for entertaining us.
Yo, it's your boy YoungMully. Now check this shit out, gang. Pep gave this interview right after the incredible comeback against Aston Villa. And now, I'ma dissect for y'all how Pep Guardiola won this game, this title, for Manchester City. Because Manchester City could have easily lost it all on the final day of the Premier League. On the 10th year anniversary, since the whole blue half of Manchester went Aguero, they did the same thing yet again. And the difference between that time and this time is the fact that at that time the brilliance was of Aguero, Balotelli, Dzeko, and they got a little bit of help from Joey Barton as well, when Manchester City did the comeback against relegation threatened QPR. But here, 10 years on, when you look at it, it's a little bit different. Because at that time, when Manchester City has never won a title, the players hadn't proven themselves. They weren't labeled winners, to put it like that. But this Manchester City side, at least domestically, they've been sweeping up pretty much everything. Now, on that day though, the hero is none other than Pep Guardiola. If you ask me, the changes he made had all impacts, and it's safe to say he actually won Manchester City the title because Liverpool did what they had to do, even though it wasn't as comfortable as they thought it was gonna be. Now, let's start with the first change. The first half actually came at the stroke of halftime, and he changed Zinchenko for Fernandinho. Now, from the 3 changes he made, this one is the obvious one, if you ask me. And there are 2 major reasons for that. First of all, Fernandinho was actually struggling in the first half, and he could have easily even given a goal to Aston Villa. If y'all remember, there was one incident with Watkins, and by the way, man, let me put this shit out. Watkins, man, during that day, man, he was lame as fuck, man. He was actually lame as fuck. He should have scored at least 2 more goals. You see what I'm saying? But there was this incident, Fernandinho fucked up, he failed to hit the ball, and Watkins almost went one-on-one. And if it wasn't for his bad touch, he could have easily scored that goal. And the second reason is actually the fact that down the right hand side, where Stones was playing as a right back, there was no threat. Manchester City right hand side, man, it was blunted to put it the least. And on top of that, Mahrez wasn't having the best of the games. Now, with this move, Pep hit 2 birds with 1 stone, moving Cancelo from the left side to the right side and putting Zinchenko on the left hand side, while at the same time putting Stones from the right back to center back. With this move, he basically removed the weakest link in his defense, that was Fernandinho, and he added threat on the both sides of the flanks, which we'll come to it later. And while at this shit, man, another credit Pep deserves here is for recognizing the problem early and making the sub quickly at halftime. He didn't give Fernandinho no more time. And remember guys, this was Fernandinho's last game with Manchester City. Pep could have easily got emotional by that factor and could have said, Fernandinho, you gotta pick up your game in the second half. He could have advised Stones to be more attacking in the second half. But nah, man, fuck all of that shit. He straight up went and made the change. He recognized he made a mistake with the starting lineup and he rectified it on the spot. From here on, Manchester City were actually pressing, but it wasn't like they were creating clear-cut chances. If you ask me, man, I barely remember the Aston Villa keeper making saves like that. But one thing that's true though, the last pass or the last move was always missing, but they kept coming in good positions. If y'all noticed, especially in the first 15-20 minutes, like they kept coming in good positions. Now, as time went on, shit didn't improve for Manchester City. 11 minutes into the second half, he changed Mahrez with Sterling. This movement, it was just a direct for direct replacement. He put Sterling on the right hand side because Mahrez was just ineffective, like straight up. He just wasn't having the best game of his life. I wouldn't say he was trash, but you know, when the title is on the line, man, you expect more. And 11 minutes later, on the 68th minute, Gundogan was brought on for Bernardo Silva. And 1 minute later, Coutinho scored, but the game plan didn't change. Now, the Gundogan move is the one that makes you think like, what the fuck? And that day, man, I was streaming the game, as y'all already know, and I got the American channel, you know what I'm saying? And at that moment, man, the American commentators, they were saying, man, why isn't Pep bringing Grealish? Because they were expecting Grealish to come on. And they were actually surprised when he opted to go with Gundogan. They were like, if there is anything Grealish knows well, it's Aston Villa. But Pep completely had other ideas in his head. After the game, he explained that nobody at Manchester City is better at timing his run in the box as Gundogan. And Pep recognized that. They were arriving in good places. His team was arriving in good places time and time again. But they lacked the last move. They lacked the last killer instinct and the person to be at the right place at the right time. And Pep, not only he recognized that shit, but he made the change early enough for Gundogan to have an impact on the game. Those are the small margins that can win you and lose your game. Sometimes I see managers making changes so late and the player is not even warmed up like that to make an impact. Sometimes players need to acclimatize to the game. They need time to get in the rhythm of the game. You see what I'm saying? And on the 72nd minute, when Coutinho put Aston Villa 2-0 up, at this point you're thinking Stevie G finna win Liverpool the title. He finna make the unthinkable happen. And right after that, man, he subbed Coutinho off for Mukamba. And it was from this moment hell broke loose. Now, if you ask me, I feel the change came a bit too soon. But again, it's easy to say this shit in hindsight. But the only thing I'm gonna criticize, my issue is with the fact that there were 6 minutes between Manchester City's first goal and the third goal. And football is a game of small margins. And knowing Manchester City were playing at home and knowing the title was on the line, you know after the first goal, the crowd is gonna go wild. You know the players will get a new wave of energy. So at that point, the only criticism I'm gonna give to Gerrard is the fact that he was so slow to react. We see, after changing Coutinho at 2-0 up, the next time Gerrard changes the shape, the structure, or a player was at 3-2. And at that time, man, it was just too late. Stevie G slipped up yet again. And when you look at the players who scored, Gundogan scored 2 of the goals, Rodri scored 1 of the goals, Raheem Sterling and Zinchenko both got an assist each. And literally, man, all the subs of Pep Guardiola made an impact on the game. And it's actually fair to say Pep Guardiola basically changed the game, man. His substitutes were spot on, the timing was spot on. He could have put Grealish, he could have had Fernandinho play a longer time on his final game with Manchester City. But nah, man, But what y'all think, man? What do y'all think about those substitutes? What do y'all think about Steven Gerrard's move on that game, especially on the last 15 minutes? Hit me up with your thoughts in the comment box. And Pep said it himself, man, next year is gonna be 5 changes. So we're gonna see how genius this motherfucker can get. But we finna see this shit, man. We wanna see more shit like this in the Champions League, if you ask me. That's what y'all lacking. But anyways, man, like, subscribe. It's your boy YoungMully. I'm out.